Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to, of course, our talk show, Riding Tiger with Arijit. But today, I'm not going to talk about something on business, neither on definitely inspiration or maybe the career. Today, we are going to talk about health, nutrition, and definitely how to lose fat from human body. And today I have got an amazing friend of mine whom I met in a beautiful island in Phuket, in Thailand. He is practically from UK, who started learning MMA, mixed martial art over there. And you can definitely say that he is one of my guru into health, nutrition, and bodybuilding. Uh, he's a he's a one-man army. I call him as an unstoppable person who can build anything out of nothing, to be very honest. He uplifted so many of lives in his lifespan. I can't just imagine. And his name is Oakley Mark. Oakley is originally from UK, dedicated his life for humanity, and definitely he learned how to touch base life in a complete different way. And the reason he came, because definitely for friendship, and more important, he came because he wants the world to be healed, and he is going to give us lot many of great tips. So if you look at our audience or people who actually ask me personally that how can you lose body fat from your body and how can you probably be healthy, that's one of the biggest question I have been asked while doing my corporate work, while running businesses. How can I maintain myself? I can maintain myself because of this gentleman who gave me tips in front of seaside in Phuket. So let's not wait, let's not learn it from me, rather learn from the guru who can give us a lot many great tips on health and nutrition. So Oakley, my first question to you would be, there are definitely different variety of nutrition and health. So if you want to be a bodybuilder, your food is different. If you want to be a fighter, your food is different, maybe. And if you want to live a healthy life, your food structure, your lifestyle is different. But can you please address this question? How can you lose your body fat? How can you remove body fat and become a bit of healthy? So excess fat is not good. We all understand, but how can you do it if you can enlighten us? Over to you.
Okay, well, first, thank you very much, Ajit, for such a flattering introduction. Thank you very much. Okay, yeah, nutrition, such as a varying, wide varying, massive subject, and like you said, for various different means. Your nutrition is basically the food that you eat. Your diet is the food that you eat, and depending on what you want to do, then the food that you eat will be different. As you stated, if you're a bodybuilder, your nutritional requirements will be completely different to those of a marathon runner whose nutritional requirements are completely different to those of somebody who sits behind a computer desk for 8, 10 hours a day or works swinging a sledgehammer in construction. So we'll just get into the specifics, the basics in fat loss. Um, Most people would like to lose a bit of fat. Um, the main misconception thing that people have to understand primarily is that you cannot lose fat from where you want to lose fat. For example, most people, oh, I just want to lose a bit of fat around the belly and hips, show my abs. Or for the women, it's the bingo wings. But this is absolutely impossible. You reduce fat as an overall percentage. An analogy that I use, which a lot of people will immediately understand, if we think of a bathtub full of water, and let's say that your feet is where the taps are, your head is at the other end. So your belly, your stomach, as it were, is in the middle. Now let's get a jug and we'll take out a couple of litres of water from the middle, from the belly. As you'll see, the level of the water reduces overall, not just from where you took it from with the jug. So when we set out to lose body fat, we must understand that we will lose it as an overall percentage. Not specifically, we can't do specific exercises like sit-ups to lose fat on our stomach or cycling to lose fat on our legs. We can do exercises which will encourage fat burning, and this will eventually lead to an overall loss in body fat, which eventually will manifest itself in showing your six-pack. But if we think your stomach, your hips, the reason there is a lot of fat around there, a lot of fat deposits in the skin, is because the organs there are unprotected, like those above it, which are protected by a rib cage. In a woman, this is even more important. This is why women carry a lot more fat around the stomach and hips area, because they've got a womb and ovaries and stuff like that to protect. So the fat deposits around the stomach, hips, buttocks are quite high compared to around your chest, your neck, your wrists, your arms, and other parts of your body. So when we first set out on losing fat, the first place you'll notice it is around your neck and your wrists. Your collar will get loose, your watch, your rings will get loose. And you'll think, well, what about my six-pack? What about my belly? It's happening. Have patience. It's where the discipline kicks in. It's as an overall percentage, and you're much higher percentage around the abdomen and hips than you are in other areas. So it just takes a bit longer before you notice it. Okay. Fat is one of the best sources of energy for your body to use. When we're sitting here talking, breathing, looking around us, we're burning fat as an energy source. It's an excellent energy source. And I'm going to give you another analogy now, which will help you understand. All foods provide energy: fats, carbohydrates, proteins. Of course, we've got vitamins, minerals, blah, blah, blah. But if we just use the fats, proteins, and carbs, what we're going to do is call fat wood. We're going to call fat wood. And we're going to call carbohydrate newspaper. And we're going to call protein metal. And we said, right, which is the easiest thing to light a fire with? Of course, it's newspaper. Yep. The problem with newspaper, it'll burn quite fast. What's the next easiest thing to light a fire with? Wood. Good thing about wood, once it gets burning, it'll last a long time. We can actually light a fire using metal, but we're going to have to get a big furnace and get such a high temperature before it's a big process. So, if we look at energy sources for your body, fat, wood, becomes an excellent source because it will last a long time. Carbohydrates are not that good an energy source because just like the newspaper, they will rapidly burn out and need to be replaced by something else. Protein, as demonstrated with a metal in a furnace, not a good choice of energy for your body. So let's look at ways in which we can reduce our body fat. One excellent way of reducing your body fat would be to give your body no choice of an energy source but fat. So we can only burn fat as an energy source. This is nowadays what's known as a keto diet. When I was younger, it was a Cambridge diet. Before that, all over the world known as an Eskimo diet, because the Eskimos have only got very high protein foods to eat. They've got no fruits or vegetables. So if they only eat protein, metal, then say their bodies have a very easy time with fat because they haven't got any to start with. So what we'll do in the Western world, we're not Eskimos anymore. We can follow this kind of keto diet where what we're going to do is actively stop eating carbohydrates. Now, if we actively stop eating carbohydrates, the body for energy has got two choices, fat and protein. Very difficult to use protein, but very easy and very efficient to use fat. Wood, get it burning, and just like a log on your fire, it will last a long time and provide a lot of heat. So this is where it gets a bit confusing for most lay people because I'm kind of suggesting that to lose fat, we want to actively eat fat.
But
once
Oakley, I've got a question. If you eat a lot of protein and fat, and if you don't eat carbohydrate, how gonna digest fat and carbohydrate? Wouldn't it
um,
affect your stomach?
once again, you find it almost impossible to obliterate anything entirely from a diet. So we're going to actively seek to increase our fats, good fats and proteins, and decrease the carbs. But everything we eat will contain some carbs. And just like any change in anything, your body will go through a period of time where it kind of panics and thinks what's going on here, and then starts to adapt. And once it adapts, it becomes efficient. This is the remarkable thing about human beings, and this is why we've lasted 200 odd thousand years, because whatever's thrown up in front of us, we adapt, we change, and we become efficient. Um, so to get our body efficient at burning fat as an energy source and thereby lowering our fat content as an overall percentage, we're going to actively increase the fats and proteins in our diet and decrease the carbs. So what that basically means is all your meats, your fish, your chicken, your eggs, you can still enjoy. All of your nuts, omega oils that are found in like salmon, tuna fish, cashew nuts, all of these things you can eat. And we're going to actively delete from the menu rice, pasta, bread, potatoes, which are the main bulky form of simple carbohydrates that your body will very easily use as an energy source, but just like the newspaper, it won't last long. So just by taking these simple steps in the meals that we eat, we can start pushing our body into a state known as ketosis, where our body has no choice but to burn fat calories as an energy source. And this is just the nutritional side. If we start doing some specific fat burning intensity exercises, we can massively increase the amount of fat calories that are burned as an energy source, other than just your day-to-day work, walking, talking, breathing, doing what we're doing. And this is the best combination. If you can combine exercise and nutrition, then the sky's the limit to what you can achieve with your body and your mind, because it's your mind that's going to be in control of the discipline that's required to do these things. And discipline and consistency becomes the key. We can't achieve anything without discipline and consistency, whether it's a good body, a bad body. A bad body is only formed and created by consistent bad habits and bad discipline. It doesn't get that way overnight. So it works both ways. You know, if you want something really good or really bad, then consistency and discipline help. Whether it's financial, wealth, qualifications, education, it's all the same thing. It's all the same kind of process that we have to attach. And once again, if you do these things, you'll get the results. If you don't, you won't. It's that simple. It's really that simple. So we've looked at the foods that we're going to eat. Now let's look at some exercises that we can do. Easily way to understand the different intensities to burning fat. A lot of people talk about cardio. Cardio is a cardiovascular exercise. It's aerobic. It requires oxygen as an energy source. It does not burn fat, only in a calorific deficit, which is something entirely different. But let's look at ourselves walking on a treadmill that's horizontal, flat, and we're walking at a steady pace, and we're able to talk. We're not puffing and panting. Our legs aren't burning. In this zone, we're actually burning fat as an energy source. Now we're going to increase the incline and we're going to increase the speed. And gradually what will happen is you start to puff and pant. Your breathing becomes heavy. We are now switching from burning fat as an energy source to burning oxygen as an energy source. It's become aerobic, cardiovascular, which is why you're starting to breathe heavier. Now we're going to increase the incline even more until you're actually climbing. And now you're not puffing and panting, but the muscles in your legs and arms are burning because they're full of lactic acid. And what's happened now, the exercise has become so intense, we're not burning fat, we're not burning oxygen, we're burning glycogen as an energy source. The exhaust fumes of which are lactic acid, which is creating the burning sensation in your arms and legs. So we've got 3 different intensities of exercise there, all of which use different energy sources. So if you want to increase your cardiovascular fitness, then get into a zone where you're puffing and panting, but don't expect to lose fat. If you want to lose fat, you must stay in the low intensity zone. We do not want to raise the intensity and get into the aerobic zone where we're burning oxygen. We want to stay specifically in the fat burning. Brisk walking is an excellent exercise to do. Half an hour, 45 minutes, 3-4 times a day, combined with your diet, is an excellent way to kickstart your body into using fat as an energy source. If you can do this 45 minutes brisk walking or exercise first thing in the morning before you eat, then your body has no choice whatsoever than to use food energy sources which are stored up. And the only way your body can store things is in fat. Once you have something to eat in the morning, then your body has got a choice. It can use the food that you've eaten as an energy source. But until you have something to eat, it's got no choice other than to use, you could say, what's deposited, saved in the bank account already. Until you put a deposit in, it's no choice but to spend what's there. And that's a good way at looking at how you're going to structure your food. Most people eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And one of the biggest mistakes most people make when they want to lose fat or weight is think, right, I'll stop eating breakfast. What we discuss, your food is an energy source. So what happens the first morning when you decide to stop eating breakfast, your body thinks, what's going on here? and your body's very smart at looking after itself. So what happens when you eat lunch is your body thinks, right, instead of burning all this food, all these calories of lunch, I'm going to save some just in case I miss another meal. When you get dinner, your body does exactly the same. It saves some. Now, this saving is in the form of fat. So as the days and weeks go by, you do actually lose weight. But your bank account, your fat account, is going sky high. So once you reach your desired weight, you start eating your breakfast again and you get even fatter. So you think, right, I'll stop breakfast and lunch. That will do it. And what you get into is what's called the yo-yo effect, where you're losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight. Not good for your body and not good for your mind at all. It's entirely frustrating, because every time you think you've got it, it goes away from you. Let's do an easy analogy once again. Think of this food, meals, as salary. If you're only paid once a month, you've got to be extremely careful how you spend your money. If you're paid once a week, you can be a bit more relaxed about how you spend your money. If you're paid every day, you can be even more relaxed. If you're actually paid cash in your hand every hour, you could spend a lot every hour, knowing that in the next hour you get some more. So what we want to try to do with the body is eat more than 3 times a day. Let's push this to 4, 5 times a day, so that every time your body eats some food, it thinks, wow, I can use all of this food. I don't need to save any energy, because in the next 2 or 3 hours, I'm getting some more. And gradually, if we keep repeating this process, your body gets efficient at using the food, the energy that you provide it, and not saving any. And as we discussed earlier, the only way your body saves food, calories, energy, is in the form of fat. So if we can get our bodies into the regular habit of not only burning fat as a primary energy source, but also that it doesn't need to save any fat, because it's always going to have an energy source given to it every 2 or 3 hours. And we combine this with some low intensity exercise, then we've got 3 key things which will guarantee your fat loss. If you do them consistently and with discipline, if you think you're going to do this for 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 weeks and then go back to your McDonald's pizzas or your roti and gulab jamun and kulfi, then no, it's not going to work. We need to do this for 6 to 8 weeks minimum to get our body firmly into this groove. And then we can start adjusting the macros, as it were. We just basically, we're going to increase or keep the same our intake of fish, chicken, eggs, beef, and we're going to decrease significantly our potatoes, bread, pasta, roti, your carbohydrates, and we'll actively, if we can, increase. You've got good oils, good fats, your omega oils, your cashew nuts, your tuna fishes, flaxseed oils. There's a variety of very good oils, very good fats, polyunsaturates that you can get on the market. But the main thing is to decrease the carbohydrates. And combine these with a mindset that you will lose fat and you're actually doing everything required to lose fat, then you will lose fat. It's a lot easier to say than to do, but they're just basic principles. If you want, you know, a certain job that requires certain qualifications, you go to university, you study every night, you get your qualifications, you can get the job. If you don't, you won't. It's you know, this discipline, this consistent, this process, I think is it's involved in every change that we seek to make in our lives. And if you apply the process diligently, then you'll get results. And we're just basic. You don't need to start getting calculators out or scales and weighing your food and getting into how many calorie counting and all that kind of stuff, unless you really want to, you know, create some significant changes to your body. But most of us just want to get in shape. You just want to reduce your body fat a bit, which will not only improve your body, but improve your mental state as well. You know, so it's a twofold thing. You're working on your mind and your body. And of course, once your body starts improving, you know, your self-esteem, your confidence, your intuition, you know, your belief in yourself start improving because you made it happen. You know, it's a great feeling. You know, and once you understand this process and how good it makes you feel, you can not only pass it on to others, but you can start applying it to other parts of your life that you want to improve, whether it's financial wealth or happiness, you know, mindfulness, peace of mind. You know, once again, there are processes that need to be applied to achieve these things. And if you do them, you'll get the results. So I hope Arjit and anybody else watching. Arjit actually is a living example. When I met him in Thailand years ago, I'm not going to go into all the grim details of what he wanted to get up to on this paradise island, but he looked nothing like he does now. He's lost so much body fat. I see the picture of him in the gym and the definition, and his arms, his triceps is coming through, and he just looks, exudes. It's like a vibe and energy that you start to give off because you start to feel what you are, and that's successful in changing you. It's a great feeling, and you can see it in Arjit. So anyone who know him,
let me tell you that, guys. Let me tell you that. I mean, to be very honest, when I met Oakley for the second time, the first time was a different kind of meeting between both of us. First time I was like huge, like probably like a monster, you know, with big belly in my
I didn't
body.
want to say that.
I'm shameless. I can always talk to this to people. I used to have a big belly, to be very, very honest. Second time when I met Oakley and we actually went to a MMA fighting club, I actually saw how he is doing the practice, and he started teaching me, practically speaking, guys. He started teaching me how to be healthy, and trust me on this, I was actually all full in doing business, doing lots many good things in life for humanity, and definitely with complete different kind of lifestyle that I had. Then after that, I realized that this is not the way your body should actually work, and you should become healthy. And when I came back to India, I started working out, and I started taking tips from this nice gentleman. I call him as a young gentleman, younger than me, even though he is by age, he is
Oh, you had to get that one in, didn't you?
I'm
You had
not
to
going to
get
tell
that
you
one
but he
in.
is
Baba.
my sweet brother, my close to heart person whom I can rely with. So if you feel that you want to trust a honest opinion of a person, if you feel that you want to transform your body, if you feel that you want to change your lifestyle, you want to be fit, probably me and Oakley, we can start a program for all of you guys. We can create a workshop with Oakley. He can definitely give you tips specifically for your body. Each and every body is different, guys. You cannot just make it as a generic way that you are thinking. So your blood group is different, your lifestyles are different. So depending on that, you should have your nutrition, you should have your exercise, and you should have a goal, like what kind of body that you need. So I really personally, I don't need a body like my totally shredded body. I don't need that. I'm basically happy with my suits. So that's how I usually walk in on the roads. But I want my body to be totally flexible without a lot of fat, looks like normal athletes. So that's the goal of my own kind of body style. But your body style may be different. So there are a lot many of you who are going to gym and you are asking that what are the best tips that we can get, and you requested. So that's the reason I requested my guru Oakley to come in Zoom and share those kind of very simple basic tips in life. If you feel that you really need much more deeper stuff, I can request Oakley to come, but we will be doing it on a session basis. I will request Oakley later on, probably, if we can do some session with Indians here and maybe do some session with Europeans. We'll be more than happy to do a couple of things, couple of sessions to help you guys to become healthy. And please respect Oakley's time. He's actually dedicated his time. He was about to go to his probably his work and his fighting school. In between that, he said that, Arijit, I'm totally okay to come for 30 minutes because you wanted to help people, and he is that kind of person. He's always there to give back to the community, and I have seen that in my eyes. Trust me on this. When I was in that island, he was just like my brother, and I mean that. And I mean that. And Oakley, you are more than welcome to come here in India. India is going to welcome you in a complete different note and vertical, my brother. And I'm there for you, you know that.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, as you say, everybody is different and their needs are different and their wants, some people want to gain weight and big muscles. Other people want to do entirely the opposite. So yeah, it'll be a pleasure and an honor to come on. Yeah, and if you want to put together some programs, specifically for individuals, then we can work with individuals to tailor their needs. Or, just as we have done today, talk in general terms about achieving certain goals. Another one we could do maybe next time is for a lot of the men out there who want to build muscle. We could do a session.
We can do a session on building muscles. So guys,
stay
tuned. We can probably create another session how to build muscles, and probably that will be good. Thank you so much, Oakley, for coming and sharing all those beautiful input and sharing the important information with all of us. So guys, stay tuned. We are coming with another session with the gentleman on how to gain muscle in human body and be fit and healthy. Thank you so much, Oakley.
Okay, thank you, brother. Thank you.